Chris Ant was saying after the game that he has to do a better job of not focusing on scoring primarily. He said, when I'm out there, I'm just trying to get as many points as possible.
Yeah.
How do you work with him on that and just get him kind of to understand the other parts of the game and how much more effective you guys can be as a team when he's not tunnel vision on that?
Yeah, I think the first thing is realize that when you come into the game with certain expectations, particularly if they're driven by individual goals, you're going to be oftentimes disappointed. I mean, if the other team double teams you every single time you touch the ball, what are you going to do? You're going to be upset that you didn't get your 30 points. So, like, having that understanding, also understanding in our team, like, we don't have a lot of guys who are looking to take a lot of shots. So you're always going to get the ball. You're always going to have a lot of opportunities to do so. You're always gonna, if you can create early movement because they put two on you, then it's gonna come back to you sometimes not. It'll lead to a lot of good offense for us. So it is part of just the overall maturation. I know he wants to take a big step forward this season, but it's not going to be just by scoring more points. Like, I'm not sure that that's what our team even needs. We need him to score. We need Carl to score. We need everybody to score. But again, you got to do it within the framework of what we're trying to do.
Does he seem to process that as you try to?
Well, I would say this: if he said it to you, then that has a tremendous amount of self-awareness, and shows good growth and maturity, and he just has to trust it. And then when he goes through periods of the game when maybe the ball's not coming his way, or he's not getting a lot of looks, or we're taking advantage of other matchups elsewhere, just stay patient and just try to stay within the flow of the game.
Is he okay? Like, I noticed the other night, third quarter, Mike kind of took the reins. Is he okay kind of backing off in those instances? Or do you see him struggling with that?
No, I don't see him struggling with it. I mean, I see him, like, sometimes when the ball does get in his hands, like, feel like he's got to make up ground now, like, hey, I haven't touched it for a little while. And of course he's an aggressive scorer, and we want him to be aggressive, and we're always going to, live with sometimes guys stepping outside, or going off script. And we've all seen the runs he can get himself on too. So certainly not trying to take that away from him. But I think most importantly, when you have a guy like Mike or a guy like Kyle, if you're not using them to play through them in those moments, then we're probably not playing to the best version of ourselves. So.
Now's a good example of how you can still get a bunch of opportunities and a bunch of shots without the play, like, starting for you or being aimed at you.
Yeah, I mean, we've run almost 0 plays for Nas. And he scores in the flow, and he creates offense in the flow, and he moves the ball for the sake of moving it. Now he does that naturally. That's probably how he's always played, so. But yeah, absolutely a great example of it.
With Jaden, like, obviously there'll just be little things that pop up throughout the season, but like the flagrant, is that kind of another thing that you push?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Still part of his growth. He's got to, I know he got two-hand shoved. It was clearly a miss call there, but you can't retaliate that way. It could have could have been a 5-point swing. I think it was a 4-point swing. Could have given him a ton of momentum. If you weren't on minutes restrictions, I might have had to take you out at some point in the game because of it. So a lot of things there, but got to continue to mature through these.
Chris, what do you think of the in-season tournament?
I'm a big fan. I really am. I think I've always liked the NBA. Has been pretty creative in the way they do things, whether it be play-in tournament or kind of changing up things throughout its history to kind of make the game better and more exciting. I'm not sure every fan out there understands it, but the way I would approach it is that if it's going to be a success at the end, which I believe it will be, and it'll grab enough attention, people kind of reverse engineering, hey, what just happened? And then it kind of takes root into, the landscape of the league.
Does it affect at all how you coach?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, we might look at some of the tiebreakers situation in the group, and then you might be points differentials and stuff like that. I mean, that might, as the tournament develops, you might have to look at those types of things. So, but yeah, no, I don't think in terms of going into a game or a game plan.
It's like riding the roller coaster, Chris, of second half Monday, then the first half Monday, then the total body of work Wednesday. What's it like navigating all that?
Just come to work. I'm the same every day, dude. I come to work the same every day. I mean, the whole league is a roller coaster. There was another 27-point lead that was blown last night. There's been 5 or 6 of them blown this week. You know, it's got to be set in the context of what this league is all about. Early season basketball is wild. Nobody knows who they are really yet. But good teams might not be good. Bad teams might not know they're bad. That's why it's an exciting start to the season.
You don't think you're going to play the starters like 45 minutes next Friday?
When's that?
First play.
First playing game?
You're not going to just go for it?
Yeah, we're going to win it all right there on that night.
Apparently,
First
you guys
night.
get paid more too if you win. Coaches do.
Got to win. Everybody gets paid if they win. So.
Chris, what's your relationship with Shane? When we walked in, you had your
Yeah.
arm around him, like in a short amount of time. How has that relationship evolved?
Good, I think. I mean, I really enjoy coaching him. He's, just trying to get him kind of play with a bunch of confidence. You know, I think out there at the moment he's kind of surveying too much. Just trying to told him, like, you know, you're our guy. We're rolling with you. So until you got the big runway to just figure it out. So.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
See you guys.